all this, like, the music business is really tough and everything, and we got to, like, deal with merch, and we're just talking about, like, you got to shake hands and this, that, and the other. But on
get to shake hands, Joe.
Yeah, we get to. Sorry. I don't know what I was thinking right there. It got late. No, we get to shake hands, yeah. But like, I don't know, like, don't you kind of love it in a way too? Like, don't you think it kind of like sort of makes you more energy? Like, I feel like just being with you or just hearing you talk about it or whatever, like, you seem to like almost like love it, even though it's maybe harder. But compared to like '90s where like things are just sort of given to you, this, that, and the other, and we're like, you know. But like now, you kind of have to sort of like be industrious and thoughtful and like kind of like and sort of engage different aspects of your mental capacity, like think in terms of more marketing, and that's kind of fun, right? Like, well, it's on some level.
It's just, you know, it's just all out of necessity. When people stop buying records,
right,
then suddenly a huge, you know, portion of your potential income is gone. So you have to get creative. But for me, the best thing that really happened, you know, when I started like going out to the merch table and signing stuff and interacting with fans, which I hadn't done all during the 90s. I probably talked to maybe 2 fans.
Right.
So I wasn't very good at it at first, but
yeah, what was that like when you first did it? How weird was that?
Oh man,
well, you're a little intimidating to people who don't know you.
Yeah, you're intimidating to people who do know you.
That's only sometimes.
Yeah, only if you feel like it.
The best thing that happened was it made me interact with people. You know, like be a real person.
Yeah,
and just, you know.
I guess that's what I mean too. Just on a larger point, like it's just. Yeah, like because like, okay, we were talking too about podcasting, for instance, as a mode of like, okay, like how are we going to survive as artists in this day and age? You have to sort of branch out and do other things and be inventive, or even if you're like being inventive in a way that a million other people are being inventive by starting a podcast, for instance, or whatever, you know, like, but it's kind of fun. I mean, I sort of dig it. Like, I'm glad I'm not just like in some ivory tower with like. Saying that, I'm not so sure I might be lying right now, because I was about to say with like money just pouring in. That sounds kind of nice, actually. But no, it is fun being out in life, you know, coming to your house to do a podcast, or like, you know, or you meet fans, and sometimes it is like energetically draining. It can be. But at the same time, too, I've met so many really cool people, and then like sometimes you have a shit gig and you go out and you shake hands, and it's like, everyone is so like loves it, and you completely change your perspective, you know, that kind of thing.
That happens all the time to me. The thing that happens most often is like the people that got a real heavy story, like they're only here because their dad or their brother or their husband was such a big fan, and they've just passed away or something.
Right.
And, you know, they'd be crying while they tell this story. That happens all the time, and it's you know, it's kind of hard to think that your music is something that, you know, affects other people the way that the music you loved affected you. But at some point, when you have enough of those experiences, you just kind of have to say, wow, it's, you know, it's humbling for sure.
Yeah. I find like when people say stuff like that to me, I kind of like almost disengage on some level, like I'm witnessing it, and it doesn't really strike me as they're talking to me. Does that happen to you?
That's happening to me right now.
That's because I'm a shitty podcaster.
No, of course, yeah, you know. I mean, there are those times like when this one experience comes to mind. Like, I think it was in San Francisco. This woman just like had to not only tell me like the entire story of her life, but her son's life, and it got to a point where like there's still, you know, 50, 75 people waiting to come up there, and she's been up there for 20 minutes now, you know, and it's
Right.
like, how do I get out of this? But
How do you get out of it?
well, you just say, get this fucking person.
You need a tour manager for that.
You just get the security guy to yank him outside and kick the shit out of him.
Right.
No. But yeah, of course, when it happens every other day,
Right. It's draining.
it can be.
It can be. I don't mean to be negative, but it like, you know, I don't know.
But it's where the bread is buttered.
That's true. Are you an empath, do you think?
I would never even think about it.
That's probably healthy.
I don't think about too many things too deeply, Joe.
You don't?
No,
Why not? You seem so deep.
that's
That's an illusion.
That's the costume of persona.
I don't know if that's true. You got such a deep voice. It's like the voice comes from somewhere in the soul.
It comes from the cigarettes.
Nah.